it's Missy. How are you guys? I hope all is well. Today I'm here to share with you guys a mid of the year checkup update. This is part one because I am interested in seeing how many books I have read for the Around the Year in 52 books. So let's just talk about my 2019 goals quickly. I didn't have very many. I had 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 9. I had 9 goals. My first goal was to read 50 books this year. 50 being as the minimum. I am currently at 47 books, I believe. 46, 47. So I am making great strides in getting to that 50 goal. And I will definitely, by the time I get to 49 books, which is, will be in the next week or so, I will raise that 50 to 75 and then again to 100. I mean, my inside goal was 100 books this year, but I wanted to start off at 50 just so I could give myself, a pat on the back for doing a good job. The second goal was the 52 books around the year. I am doing that again. And because I've read already 46, I kind of want to find out if all of those could be translated into the, whatchamacallit. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. You see all these? These are all the categories for the Around the Year in 52 books. For example, there is a book that was nominated for or won an award in a genre that you enjoy. That's very vague. I enjoy many genres, and so I could literally put anything in there as long as it was nominated or won an award. So I'm going to go through this later today and plug in the books that I've already read this year, and then let you guys know in part 2 how well I am doing in that challenge. The third one is to read 5 authors that I've purchased over and over but haven't read yet. For example, that would be like Scott Westerfeld. That would also be Marcus Sedgwick. I have a ton of his books. So I have not hit that goal. I haven't even picked up any of their books yet. So that will be a goal that I will be continuing, in the next months. Then we have finished 5 books from my book graveyard. Wow. And so far I have finished 2 of them. So that's good. I finished The Missing Girl last month and I finished Zombie Abbey last month. So go me. I only need to do 3 more books, which literally could be anything. I mean, I have some really good books on my graveyard shelf. And if you don't know what my graveyard shelf is, it's literally a shelf for all the books that I have started but not finished. They're not DNFs because I do plan on finishing them, but they don't go in any of my TBRs. Like, they don't match any of the categories, and sometimes I will join a whole bunch of readathons and my TBR keeps switching, and so if the readathon starts and I'm in the middle of a book, I usually put that book down so I can start new books. It's a vicious cycle. So yeah, I will definitely strive for finishing 3 more books this year, and if I can, I will read more than 5. My next goal was to read 10 nonfiction this year. I really enjoy nonfiction, and in the previous years I haven't read that many, and so this year I really wanted to delve into more nonfiction. So far this year I've read 4 nonfiction books. We have How to Ruin Everything Essays by George Watsky. I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend. I still kind of don't know what he is. I guess he's a rapper or a hip-hop artist, and he also writes, like, I don't know. It's so funny because when it says essays, I thought it was essays on particular ideas of something, but it's actually just stories of his life, which I really enjoyed reading. And he goes on tour, as hip-hop band, and he's got people and stuff, but it doesn't really go into like who he is. It's just like childhood stories, which I found a lot of fun to read. And then I have Many Lives, Many Masters, The Timeless Classic by Brian L. Wise, MD. This is about a psychiatrist who has a patient that, when hypnotized, starts talking about 87 different lives that she has lived before her current one. And the fact that this has been going on for a really long time. There are a lot of studies of people recollecting their past lives, which then in turn kind of says that reincarnation is real, you know? So this was very interesting. And then I just finished Death's Acre, Inside the Legendary Forensic Lab, The Body Farm Where the Dead Do Tell Tales by Dr. Bill Bass. Again, another interesting, really wonderful read. It wasn't dry at all. And if you like The Body Farm, this talks about the creation of it, and Bill Bass is the creator. So it talks about his forensic anthropology expertise, how he got through his career, how he helped train other individuals in forensics and everything. Super fascinating. And then this month in particular is my nonfiction. It's just July nonfiction month. So I will be reading another, hopefully 3 or 4 nonfiction. So, oh, my fourth one I don't own it, but it was Jesus Interrupted. And I will leave the cover here. I thought that was really fascinating. It's about the contradictions in the Bible between different apostles. You know, each story talks about Jesus, but it's kind of like playing telephone. You say one story, and through our, you know, centuries of human evolution, clans and families and, you know, what have you, they've always shared stories through mouth, and orally they would pass on these stories from generation to generation. That doesn't mean that if you hear a story, it's going to be the exact same story the original teller told at the time it occurred. Not only that, but that's why a lot of times when you go into a courtroom, they don't consider witnesses being their story is 100% accurate, because memory can switch things that happen. Even though you saw something and you feel it in your heart that it's true, it may not be, because memories switch over time. Even in my life, my memories have switched over time. I can say for sure, I'm 100% certain this thing happened at this time in my life, and then I can talk to my grandma and she'll say, well, that actually didn't happen at that time, or it was slightly different, you're remembering it wrong. And so in the Bible, these apostles who wrote for especially the New Testament, a lot of their testimony and a lot of their stories are taking place hundreds of years after Jesus Christ had already been crucified. And so even though they are telling these stories with heart and for a good purpose, that doesn't mean that their stories are 100% accurate. It's not that they are fabricating them on purpose to make our lives miserable. But if you read back to back to back in like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all of those are different in some way. They tell the stories differently. So I found that fascinating. Just because I enjoy theology, I really enjoyed that book. So yeah. So far, I've read 4 out of 10, and hopefully I can read 4 more this month, so that'll be 8 out of 10, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have 10 or more nonfiction read. Keeping my fingers crossed. All right, next we have read 5 contemporary from my shelf. Yikes. And when I mean 5 contemporary, I'm talking about John Green, because I have all of his books. I'm talking about Rainbow Rowell, because I have all of her books. The Devil Wears Prada. I've never even read that book, although I enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I have a lot of contemporary, and I'm not a contemporary reader, so I just need to bite the bullet and start reading some and stop being wimpy, because it makes me cringe, literally makes me cringe, even thinking about picking up these mushy books, but it's on my goals. All right, next I have read one hard read. Oh yeah, read one hard read, not read. Read and read are spelt the same, but they don't sound the same. Read one hard read. Example, House of Leaves. Well, House of Leaves is horror. I am not going to save that for October, because October I do want to read like a bunch of scary stories. So maybe in September I will do a hard read, because that's, you know, when we start school, and maybe I'll take my time and read one really big book. What do you think I should read? I have House of Leaves. I also have S. I also have The Weird Compendium, which is a bunch of short stories by a million horror novel, like horror writers. I also have another, I have a ton. When I say ton, I mean like 5. I have like 5 giant collections of horror stories written by a million different authors that I'd like to get through. We'll see. All right. Okay. Next we have, oh, last. This is the last thing. Read and complete 5 series. Wow. Read and complete. Now, I was very vague on that. I didn't say start and complete. I just said read and complete. So that means that I could pick up Ghostly Echoes and then read The Dire King, because those are 2 out of the 4 in the series that I still need to complete. I picked this up ages ago and never finished it, even though William Ritter is like one of my favorite YA authors. I just never finished the series. Yikes! 5? I have to read 5? Oh man. Where'd my thing go? Yeah, 5. Alright, well, so far I haven't done any of that. That will be something that will continue this year. Let me know down below what you have read so far this year, if you have already completed some of your goals. According to my 9 goals, I have almost completed 2 of them, and I still have a lot more to go. So, yes. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, there will be a part 2 to this. I'm going to go through my Around the Year in 52 books and put all the ones that I have read into the little slots, and then I will discuss with you. That video will be just slightly longer because I do want to kind of like read the category and then talk about the book a little bit. They won't be mini reviews because that'll take way too long, but hopefully with me doing this Around the Year in 52 books like at 6 months and then at 12 months, my video will be shorter, because I know I talked about them last year in my Christmas vlog videos, and it was a pretty long video. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.